In this video, we will talk about the exponent rule, power to a power. What this means is when we have an exponent on the inside of the parenthesis and then an exponent on the outside of the parenthesis. So you're taking a power or an exponent to the power of another exponent. And when this happens, when we're taking a power to a power, as long as we have the same base, like we do, like always with multiplying, with dividing, we multiply the exponents this time. Here's why it makes sense to multiply the exponents when we have a power to a power. Once again, I'm going to expand it out so we can see what happens. So I have x squared on the inside of the parenthesis. And since I have the 4 on the outside, it's telling me that I'm taking x squared times itself 4 times. So see how I have x squared, which is x times x, written 4 times. Because I'm multiplying x times each other 4 times. And now look and see how many x's I have. If I count them up, I have 8 x's multiplied times each other, which would be x to the 8th power. And so if I look back at what I started with, I had an exponent of a 2 and then the 4. So I ended up doing 2 times 4 to get this exponent of an 8. The next example, just going through it, once again, I'm going to expand it out. So if I have m to the 3rd power, that's m times m times m. And I need to multiply that times itself again because I have it to the 2nd power, which says I need 2 sets of that m to the 3rd power. So I'm going to multiply that, m times m times m. And look how many m's I have. I have 6 m's multiplied times itself, giving me m to the 6th power, which is what I get when I multiply the 3 and the 2 times each other. M to the 6th power would be my answer. So here are a couple of examples that we'll go through together. Now you'll see that we have a little bit more going on in the inside of the parenthesis, but what you need to remember that everything on the inside of the parenthesis needs to be taken times that 4 to the 4th power, or taken to the 4th power. So I need to do 2 to the 4th power, and then I need to take the w to the 3rd power, also to the 4th power. So if I do 2 to the 4th power, that's 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to give me 4 times 2 times 2, which is 8 times 2. So 2 to the 4th power is equal to 16. And then I also have to take w to the 3rd power to the 4th power. And I'm going to be multiplying my exponents because it's a power to a power. So I get w to the 12th power. And this would be my answer. The same thing is going to happen on the bottom one, but we have both. It's a fraction. We have a numerator and a denominator. So what that means is I need to do every single part inside of that parenthesis to the 2nd power. So I'm going to start on the numerator. If I have 4 squared, I get 16. And then I have to do h to the 3rd power squared. So I multiply those exponents, which is going to be h to the 6th power. And then the 3z to the 2nd power, I'm still going to keep that in the denominator of my fraction. So I'm going to start with the 3 to the 2nd power, which is 9. And then I have z squared to the 2nd power. So really I have z squared to the 2nd power, which is going to be z to the 4th power. Now, I do want to always double check, especially when I have a fraction like this, to see, can I simplify 16 ninths? Is there a number that goes into both 16 and into 9? And when I think about that, my factors of 9 are 3, which doesn't go into 16, and then 9. So my answer is not going to change. I can't simplify those coefficients. So I just keep it like that. Here are a couple examples that I want you to try by yourself first. Pause the video and then I'll go through the answers with you. So hopefully you got these two answers when you did your work. I'll quickly go through it. In the first one, we really have 3 steps. I have to take 5 to the second power, which gives me the 25. Then I take x to the 6th power to the second power. So I multiply the 6 times the 2, and that's what gives me the x to the 12th power. And then y to the 5th power, raised to the second power. When I multiply the exponents, I get y to the 10th power. Same thing on the bottom. Each thing inside of the parentheses, so each different base and the coefficient needs to each be raised to the 3rd power. So really there's 4 different things I need to do. I need to take 3 to the 3rd power, and that gives me the 27. I need to take m to the 7th power times 3, and when I multiply that, I get m to the 21st power. I need to take n squared to the 3rd power, and that's what gives me the n to the 6th power. And I have the p, and if when it's just listed as a p, I know that the exponent is 1. And when I take that to the 3rd power, that's where I get the p to the 3rd power from. So just making sure that you raise everything inside of the parentheses to that power, and then you will be all set. Make sure you mark any questions or problems that were confusing for you, and we will talk about this tomorrow in class.